We all know that test automation has always relied on CSS or XPath or ID and all those different classical locator while locating an element in the page of an application. But let's be honest, right? These locators always breaks regardless of how strong your test automation codes are. You build a lot of rating mechanism, but still your test fails because what if the developer goes and change one single locator? Then your XPath will just brutally fail. And what if your developers also go and change some styling? Your CSS will change and then your test automation will fail. So in order to overcome all these problems, we have always struggled writing so many different what is called as an auto healing mechanism or rating mechanism or maybe even correction mechanism and all these proprietary tools which claims that they have got this feature of what is called as auto healing, which is going to fix your code on the run by every single time it understands the locator. I mean, those things are just a catchy phrase of saying it, but we have never seen that really work. But this AgentQL, if you remember, I was talking about a couple of days before, which is going to do the scraping of the page for you, and it's going to get the information from the page and sends an actual response to the agent, the AI agent, which is exactly what we are going to be using for our test automation code instead of how we can actually use it for like how it has been used by the AI agent. So I'm going to show you a code over here today to show you how exactly we can use the SDK feature of this particular AgentQL, which has got the Playwright support, which can be used to write the code in both Python and JavaScript, and how you can completely avoid the fragile locators like XPath or CSS locators and using the Chrome dev tools to go identify all this locator. Just gone all those days. We are going to see how we can rectify all these problems that we have been going through, at least I'm going through for past 18 years. We can see how this can be fixed in this particular video. So let's get into it. So before I start writing the code itself, I'm going to quickly show you a demo of what I have done over here so that you get an idea of what we are going to really be automating. So you can see that this code that is going to be automated is going to be powered by Playwright and the backend, but behind the scene, the AgentQL is going and identifying all the locators for us, and I'm not using any CSS selector or XPath in here. See, every single operation which is happening over here, it's done by the AgentQL's API. So it is going to go and grab the information of the page every single time, queries that and get the structured response, and then it is going to send it to the Playwright, and then Playwright is going to perform the operation. So there is no AI involved in here. But you see that now the user has been created for us over here. So if I just go to the application over here, so initially it was just like 4 users. Now if I try to refresh the page over here, you see that from AgentQL comes in. And this is something which I just created on the demo right now for you to show like how the user can be created. And all these locators that you're going to be seeing over here are all completely out of all this XPath or CSS or ID or name, whatever that we have used all these days. It's all done by the AgentQL. So again, AgentQL, if you remember in our last video, I was talking about this particular tool. It is mainly used for web scraping for the AI agent to get a structured response from the page so that you don't see any noise from the page from the standard DOM, which the AI agent has to go through and understand, parse it, and get the understanding of the page to perform an action on the page. Instead of avoiding all these problems, we have got this AgentQL, which is going to give you a structured response so that the AI can just focus on the operation that it has to perform instead of dealing with all those noises, right? That's what exactly this AgentQL does in a nutshell. And I have also shown you how AgentQL can really identify things for you much easily. For instance, if you're going to go and identify, let's say, these form elements over here, like name, salary, duration, work, grade, email, and the create button, all I have done is this one. You see that? Name, salary, duration, work, grade, email, and create. And if I do this fetch web element, it is going to go and fetch all the locators for us over here. And you see that if I just scroll over, just hover to the name, it's going to show me what is this particular property. It is a text box input, and it has got an ID of name as name, type is text, value is true, and children is 0. So this is what exactly it has identified. And you can also go and see this page tree, like how the page is actually displayed or generated, and this page tree is what really the AgentQL really understand behind the scene while it try to grab those information for you from the query. And this is exactly is going to be sent to the AI agent where it's going to perform the operation. But in this video we're going to focus more on the Playwright SDK which is being offered by this AgentQL. So if you just go and search for agentql.com, and if you just go get started with it, and now if you just go here, go to the examples over here, and if you just go to maybe JavaScript, that is what we're looking for. Let's say close the cookie dialog, and they have got this main.js, and you see that they are really using Playwright behind the scene for performing all these operations. And this AgentQL library that they have got also has got a feature which can wrap the page object from the Playwright instance, and then it's going to perform the operation for you over here. So that's something that they provide, like the wrap method, and they also have got a configure method which is mainly used to get the API key from the AgentQL. So these are the two things which the AgentQL guys also does it, and they also have got this query element method that they have written in the AgentQL, which is going to go and query the page that like how we are doing over here, and then it's going to get the details like what you are seeing over here. That is what this this query elements is going to do. And you can see that every single locators over here, like name, salary, duration work, all these locators is followed by a key of the name over here. So this is the locator which is going to be used by the Playwright where you're going to play around with that particular the particular locator. So for instance, if you're going to work with the name, then you have to do like await page dot, and then you have to give the locator, right? Then this locator is nothing but the name over here, and then you're going to perform fill operation or click operation or select drop down operation, whatever that you wanted to do, you're going to be doing with this particular key that you have got. And I will show you all these details in action over here. So let's jump right into that and start writing the code itself. So the first thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to perform a login operation over here. So in order to perform a login operation, all I have to do is just go click this login. So this is the link which I'm going to go with. And over here, I'm going to write the query really. So the query which I'm going to be writing is, so I'm going to go identify this username text box, password text box, and the login button. See, as a user, I'm not going to be focused on like how the technical details of this particular locators are, like going and just right clicking, inspect it, and finding the locators from this Chrome dev tool. I don't really want to do that. I just wanted to be more like a user with a natural language expression, which I know, like how this system can identify. And over here, I'm just going to say username, password, and I'm going to work with a login button. So I'm going to say login. That's it. So once I do this fetch element over here, you will see that it is going to fetch all the elements for me regardless of the locator that I'm telling. Like I'm just saying in a natural language really, and this becomes a query, and that becomes a response for us over here. And you see that how easily it has identified the locator, like username with ID as username, password as password, and login it's identifying with a log space in there, which means that's how it's identifying the input text box there. Now I have got the locators, and I have already set up a simple scaffolding code with the package.json file, which has got the dependencies like browser, Chromium, AgentQL, Playwright. This is the latest version that I have got, and I have written a simple scaffolding code to import the AgentQL and the Playwright library, as well as the .env, because I need to import the AgentQL's API key. So I have got that API key in the env file, and that is what this is really doing over here. And we're gonna write all this code actually in here starting now. But let's first run this package.json, which I have to do it using the npm install. That is going to install all the packages required for me over here in the node module, right? And then I'm going to start writing the code itself. So first of all, in order to start writing the code, we need to first invoke the Playwright instance, and then we need to invoke the browser, which we can wrap it in the AgentQL, and then we can perform all the operation. So I'm going to say const browser is equal to, and then I'm going to say await of Chromium dot launch, and I'm gonna just specify the headless as false, so that I don't want it to run this in headless mode. I want to run this in headful mode. So this is the first thing which I wanted to do. And then I need to do the const page is equal to, and this is where we are going to bring our wrap method of the AgentQL that we have imported over here. This is going to have our page instance, which is going to be await dot browser of the new page. So I'm gonna wrap the page over here, and now this page essentially is going to play around with all the operations that we're going to be doing. So over here, I'm just going to say, probably I also saw there is a timeout. So I'm going to say page dot set default timeout to maybe 60 seconds instead of the default 30 seconds from AgentQL. And I'm doing that especially because this is going to fail in some cases, and I've seen that before. So I'm setting that up front, and I'm going to play around with this particular locator right now. So the first operation which I'm going to do is the login operation, right? So we have this particular URL over here, and I need to navigate to the URL. So I'm going to say await page dot go to over here, and the URL is going to be the URL that I have got on the top, right? And once I have got the URL, I'm then going to perform the operation on the login page. So I'm going to say var login. So I know you'll understand why I'm doing this over here. And I'm going to say page dot query elements, and I need to pass a query over here. And the query is nothing but this query that I'm going to work with. So I'm going to copy this query over here, and I'm going to create all the query from in the global variable, like probably something like the login page, and over here I'm just going to paste the query, which is this query. There you go. We don't need the braces there. Cool. So that is the login page I have got. Okay. So I'm going to say login page. Maybe I'm going to say query in the prefix so that it can be easily understood while reading. So login page query, and I'm going to pass the login page query over here. That's all, right? And now I'm going to just say login. You see that now that magic happens. Because as I told you, these are the key which is going to be used by the Playwright to fill in the details over there. I'm just going to say login.username.fill. Look at that, like how it's really doing. It's amazing. And I'm going to say admin. So that is what I have to do over here to perform a fill operation. And the same thing goes for the password as well. So I'm just going to say like password, and the password is password. And I also need to perform a click operation. So on the login button. So I'm going to just say click. Look at that. The IntelliSense won't come here because yeah, this login is dynamically generated, so it won't be working for you. But I suppose these things will be fixed in later point of time with the AgentQL once their library goes more mature to the the query elements. I'm not sure like how that's going to happen. And once this is done, I'm just going to see a demo like how this is really working. So I'm going to just say await browser dot close over here. So let's try to see if the login operation really works. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna say node index.js. I'm gonna hit enter. You see that the browser is now opening, and it is gonna perform the entry of the username and password. It'll be just fraction of a second because it's just gonna be very fast while you see that. There you go. You see that the login really happened there. So that is how we can see that this particular simple code, without even having any locators, we could able to perform a login operation there. And the same thing goes for the rest of the operations as well. So let's say if I want to create a user, so once I do a login, and if I want to really create a user, I just have to go and click this particular employee list link. So how do I actually find it? You know what I have to do, right? Like employee list. See, that is what I'm really doing over here. And if I do a fetch, it is identifying the particular locators over there, which is really crazy. I mean, these things are something maybe a dream for me for a long time. I've never seen this kind of things will even happen. Yeah, this is really happening at the moment, which is unimaginable. There we go. And I'm also going to create create new employee query, maybe create new button query, and I know what it is, so I'm just gonna probably write it down, because I know like once you go click this employee list, it is going to have a create new button. So I'm just going to say create new. So I'm not even, see, now what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to use the tool which the theme has provided to me. I'm just going to start writing the query over here like a plain text, because now we know that we just have to give the details over here, like name, salary, duration worked, email, that's all. Yeah, grade doesn't matter. And then I'm going to say create, which is going to be the create button. That's all. See, I have given all the query over here. Let's try to play around and see how we can able to achieve all these operations. So in order for us to work with those things, I'm going to say var employee list is equal to await of page dot query elements. And you know what to do that. We basically need to pass the employee list query over here. And then you need to say employee list dot, and we need to give the employee list. That is what we have really given on the query, if you remember, like employee list. So I'm identifying using employee list there. And I'm going to say click operation because I want to click that hyperlink. I'm going to do the exact same thing for the create new as well. So I'm going to say create new. This is going to be create new button query. And I'm going to say create new because that is the link I've got. And next thing is I wanted to do a create new user. So I'm going to say create user probably. This is going to be create new. Create new. Oh, what is that? Locator. Let's create new page query. There we go. So that's going to be create new page query. So this create user over here. Look at that. That's wrong. This is employee list. Create new. And this create user dot. And then I'm going to say name. Is that what we gave? And then we're going to say fill. And over here, I'm going to say from Playwright AgentQL, something like that. And I'm going to keep doing the exact same thing over here like that. And the first one is name, and then salary, duration worked, email. So it's going to be name, salary, which is going to be this one. Duration worked is 8, and I'm gonna say email, which is gonna be at gmail.com, and I'm gonna do a create, and this time this is going to be just a click operation that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to say click. So now let's try to run this particular code and see what is really going to happen. And you see that the moment I start writing the code, like running the code over here, it's just going to open up the Playwright for me, and then it is going to start running the code. And you can see that this particular code, I took just less than like 5 minutes to complete everything, and everything is just working as expected, or maybe it's going to work as expected. And I have just did like a natural language query over here instead of me identifying any of the XPath or DOM, or even fearing that these locators are going to change because my developer is going to go crazy and doing all those changes on the particular UI locators. So those things are gone, like gone are those days where we have to fear all these things, because right now with this kind of tool like AgentQL, we can do everything just by the like the manual query that we have got over here. And you see that that is already it's doing all these jobs for us. And I see there is some for some reason it is just waiting for the operation to complete. I think the create new button employee list we have got, which is correct. It's click that, but create new for some reason. Look at that. I think maybe it's not really identifying the create new over here. You see that I have given the same name for the create new button. So let me just stop this thing. Maybe I'm just going to say create new button, something like that. Sorry, create new button dot create new which is going to be this create new that we have got, and then I'm going to perform a click operation, and hopefully that is going to resolve this particular problem. So I'm gonna just do execution one more time. You should open the browser, as you can see over here, and then you should perform the login operation. And there we go, it did the login, and then you should click the employee list. I hope it is going to do that. There we go. And this time it should go and click the create new button, and then it should create the user. So now you got the idea, right? Like how this entire operations are really happening for us over here. And this is exactly what I see as the power of this particular AgentQL, where we don't really have to enter or use any of the locator. Everything is going to be taken care by the AgentQL to perform this operation. So I hope you got the idea, like where these technologies and trends are going towards, and how the UI automation testing is going to change the landscape in future. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll just discuss about what you are thinking and where these things are leading us towards. So we can probably talk about how we can even work with this AgentQL for more complex websites and see how we can achieve this operation. But once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and you guys have a great day.